Hello viewer, welcome to Chungu cha Jamii. I'm your host Eunice Mugo. Today on the show, we are having a very interesting conversation about the GNZs with the social issues and how it's impacting their society. Interact with us across all our social media networks, that's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. I'm not alone. I have guests with me who are going to help us to understand better concerning how the GNZs are having a great impact in our society today. I will allow them to introduce themselves. Welcome, guests, starting with you.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Stephen Obiero, a local coordinator at Africa Student for Liberty, as well as I'm the chairperson of Kenyatta University Peer Councillor. Pleasure being here.
Thank you and welcome to the show, Mr. Steve, and to you, sir.
Okay, my name is Tony Odhiambo. I'm a student leader at Kenyatta University and also the KUSO Organizing Secretary, the Kenya University Students Organization Organizing Secretary. Thank you.
Welcome on the show. Thank you for honoring our invite. Today, as we're talking about the GNZ, what a better way than to have young people on the set to help us to understand better what is GNZ all about, what is the age group that Gen Z are being categorized from which year to which year, what are the positive impacts that you're having in the society, the challenges, the struggles, the happy moments. We all need to understand what is this Gen Z all about. I understand right now where we are in the society, everyone is associating themselves with the Gen Zs. When it comes to matters to deal with tech and online, Gen Z are the people to look out for. So to start with, what is Gen Z to you and what does it mean, and which is the age group that the Gen Z are being categorized to be?
I'll say this is a tech generation, generation that everything is at a click of a button, where revolution has come and we have to embrace technology. Based on age-wise, these are the people 2000, born 2000.
All born 2000s are the Gen Z?
Not all. We have, if we say born 2000, that is those who are born from the age of 1999, 2000, 2001.
89.
And 99, yeah.
Interesting. So how do we even start to categorize? Because I understand there was Generation X, there is the Millennials, there is Gen Z, now there is Gen Z Alpha. What is this unique things that is making us to be separated, like how they're being named?
That one, if I want to talk about the Gen Zs, they're the Generation Z. If you talk about the Generation X and the Millenniums, those are the people behind, before 1989. So after 1989, up to, I think up to date, can talk about the Gen Zs, the Generation Z.
1989?
Yeah, they are youths. If you are age bracket of 35, 18, 35, you are recognized as a Gen Z.
But what he has said is very different, and also what Uncle Google is saying is also very different. I think what he's saying is what is being categorized with Uncle Google from 1999 to date.
Okay, we can say that, but according to now the situation, we are including all the youths. We are including them because this matter we want to talk about is now affecting like everybody, but more so the youth, because now you see the youth want to be imposing to a tax which they don't know where it comes from, and they have no jobs, most of them. We rely on the online things, which most of somehow some become to be scam. You get scammed there. Some are legit. You can't just have to copy them.
But it is you guys who are scamming each other. Because you think you're more tech-driven than I am, you end up scamming me.
You cannot scam somebody who has a job already.
But why? What are you doing online in the first place? I cannot scam you if you don't
have
money.
You come to online to find for a job, to look for a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means you're working.
You're not working, you are looking. And then in the process of looking, you're being scammed.
But you guys have a lot of money to waste.
Not wasting.
First. And for you to be conned and scammed, then you have money. Because I cannot con you 10,000 if you don't have the 10,000. What am I conning you? Nothing. If you don't have the 10,000 to give away, then what are you going to give? You can only give what you have.
So do you know how this 10,000 is going to be gone from you? If you didn't have it, but I've come online and you have told me there's a legit job which I want to offer you. So you just look for this amount so that we do transaction and then we start the job. The job will be paying like weekly basis or daily basis. We can talk of hourly. Some of the online works, they pay hourly. And then you find it is interesting. You will going to get to make like 4,000 like every hour. And you are being like, wow, that's a good
Can
cash.
I put you in a spot? Correct me if I'm wrong, but once you say that, what is coming to my mind is like, you don't want to get tired, 1. 2, you want easy money. And 3, that is why you're able to sacrifice the 10,000 for you.
You want this generation?
Then it's all your fault. It has nothing to do with a scammer.
So
it's you who's not using your...
Just to hate.
For lack of better words, you're not contemplating.
That's why we are Generation Z.
Because you're not... So Generation Z means you don't
the society is nowadays technologically advanced.
I have no issue with the tech. Yeah. But you being conned the 10K, it's because you did not think deeply. If you thought deeply, then you could have sustained the 10K and secured yourself a job.
Where do you want me to take this 10,000 if the government also is ready to take it free without doing anything there?
So you're together with the con men. Yes.
So ideally, it's not a matter of having money to waste. I believe everybody, the goal is to fight poverty.
True.
And we are not doing it, either doing it to please other person. So ideally you find these are people probably they have seeked for job for a long time, but they haven't found. So when I give you an opportunity, they'll highly buy the idea of get me 10,000, I give you a job. And if somebody just imagine how long he's been looking for this job in terms of empowerment, then this guy will go for the idea of let me look for this 1,000. If this 10,000 can get me a good job, then it would be a good one. But you don't say it is wasting. It's the frustration they have undergone.
I buy your idea, which makes a lot of sense. But again, let me ask you this. If you have the 10,000 to sacrifice to me who is offering you the job, out of this frustration and what you've been going through, if you've been unemployed for so long, what is pushing you so much for you to be employed in the first place? I understand you're fighting poverty, but the 10,000, can't you start a small business that will grow to be, and you be an entrepreneur and self-employed by the end of the day?
Thank you very much. Apparently the generation we are and the environment we have in terms of entrepreneurial practices, we've been in a generation where you have the 10,000. Before you start a business, the startup process consumes 90% of your money. If I want to register business, I'll use 5,500 to register. From that point, I remain with how much? If I had 10,000, 4,500.
But for you to grow to that rate, you have to start from somewhere. Before you go rent a whole apartment like this, then start from without renting. Start from home.
Thank you. You need a permit to have a business. Where we are, soon we are being taxed the air we are breathing, if we are not keen. And that is what you must know. If today I start selling sweets, tomorrow I'll be asked, have you paid the kanjo? Yeah? How will I pay the kanjo? I've worked, if for instance I operate between Githurai and Kasarani. I work from Kasarani, then I meet this kanjo, tells me, leta kitu kidogo. Ama nilale ndani. Ideally, we've made this, any startup idea to just be a dream and not a reality. Yeah.
But who is supposed to make it a reality by the end of the day?
So the idea, for it to be a reality, we need to understand the structure. One, it's not what kills these people. One is the taxation, and the first. If you ask somebody, a child who is born, like who can speak, a 2-3-year-old, the first role of the government, they'll tell you taxation. But as an entrepreneur, we need to have free market and revolution, where at least I can operate. It's a situation where I want to start a business. Yeah? I want to start a business. But the tax imposed on me cannot allow me start it. It has been like, if I am to start a business, then the government is supposed to pay me the taxes and take what they're paying me. It's now the vice versa. It's like I'm doing a business and you tell me that I'm the one working, I'm getting 40% of my total things and you're getting 60%. Will it make sense? It never makes sense that way. But when we now come and try to invest in industrialization of this nation, that's where now we get to the solution of this thing. At least we accept that now because there's this thing that we are paying these people taxes. Yeah. But these are taxes. However, when we try to mourn and do everything, you never know the aspect of, we have the aspect of the borrowings, the IMF, the loans that we are given. We are never told of the conditions why these people were given this money. And now if we try to get the aspect of which were the conditions lying, you said that when the deal is too good, think twice. When you get the money from outside, also think twice. What are these people loaning us? What is the impact? Will they make us poor until 2050?
Before we get into taxation and learning system, when you're talking about young people, and the two of you being leaders from your schools and having to talk with your peers and understanding the problems and the challenges that they are going through, one of the key things that a lot of young people are going through is the mental health. What is bringing about these issues of mental health? And you're having also a lot of youth who are coming out to be ambassadors and advocates of the mental awareness. What are the young people going through that a lot of them are going through the mental issues?
Okay, the mental issues on youth, I can just talk about is frustration from the life. The life reality is not that bearable for the youth and for the young people. If you can say, for example, you have reached in a state where you need to start giving back to your parents. You have finished your school, your university or your college, you need to give back by getting something to do. But you find yourself, you don't have anything. You don't have even a connection anywhere.
What has connection got to do with?
For you getting a connection with somebody who has made it, always in government, you can easily access, because nowadays in the society we are living, it's all about who you know for you to get what you want.
Something interesting that you've mentioned,
Yeah.
the government. Why do we all have to work in the government? You cannot fit in the government to start with.
Not specifically the government. We can talk even the NGOs or any parastatals that can give you even we can talk of a company. Yeah. But if you go to look for a job there, you'll be asked, whom do you know? Because nowadays it's all about tribalism. We have all those sorts of...
Really? Do you have people, when you're going for interviews and when you're going to seek for a job, they ask you who you know?
But you cannot just get a job that way from nowhere if you don't know anybody there.
It's all about your credentials. What are you bringing on the table? Because if I'm hiring today, I'll be looking at what is Tony bringing on the table? What is Steve bringing on the table?
But
is it beneficial to the company?
Yeah.
And then I'll hire you. If it is not beneficial, because in most places that I know, you're put on probation. If the 3 months probation period you've shown nothing, then there is no means of me keeping you there.
Yes.
I mean.
But you know, nowadays it is different. It is theoretically that way. What you have mentioned is true, theoretical. But practically, in the field, if you go there, every manager, every CEO has their personal interest. He or she has a relative back at home who else is jobless.
I can have a relative who is not dedicated to suit that position,
but
I
they will
cannot
fix.
have them there.
They will fix with a number of them.
I guess you're sitting from different perspective. What is your view on the same? Because I think me, I'm from the notion of that, whereby it's your credentials
Yeah.
talking for yourself.
Theoretically,
I think not
it is
theoretically.
cool.
Me, I'm talking about practically, because if I'm taking in today or what I've been exposed to, we're talking about what are you bringing on the table. That's my own view.
Yes.
I don't know. What's your view, Steve?
So I would say it's currently it's not on paper. It's based on who sent you.
Yeah.
That is one. There are the organizations that will take you based on your merit. Yeah. So your side might be true. His side might be true. Based on where have you applied your job. And talking about mental health, basically I'm a peer counselor and I've been able to interact with the students at personal level. The first key that comes eminent is the economic strain. Everybody wants to live a good life. We all want to at least have a vehicle. At least we have good house. But the problem is, at the end of the day, is will you really achieve it? It's the pressure around it. The economic strain kills most of us. Why? These people now have the pressure. For instance, I'm completing my campus life. I need to go to the outside world. Unemployment. So it is that's now where the stress starts coming from. Of now I'm leaving. Also, there's other that are caused by the family issues and the society. For instance, if the society believes that a man should be the provider, that is how it has been created. But what if I come to campus, I don't get a job? I'll be perceived as a failure when I go back home. And so the little pressure is this societal pressure. So I have to bottle up as a man if I don't even have anything. So with that, I get the pressures. And now the stress that it grows to mental issues.
What happens to being straight and open with the things that you're going through? Because when you say about you want to have a car, you want to have a good life, you want to have a good house, they're all good. They're not bad. Everyone wants that. But what happens into fitting into the shoe that you're in? I mean, if I'm not in a position to drive today, then I can work towards that. Instead of comparing myself to Steve and to Tosh, because you're driving a Range Rover, you're driving another big car, and I'm not able to even to take an Uber myself, why not accept myself where I am right now and know I can start with the small goals that can achieve, that can morph to big goals and achievements by the end of the day. Celebrate the small wins. For me to have an easy time with myself and accepting who I am, rather than looking at you who is having a big car and I'm not even able to fit in that place without the loans.
So that just reminded me, the other day I was touring with my friend and she was asking me, Steve, what if I die in the process? What if I die? I struggle and I die in the process. So I was trying to get, why are you telling me this? And I realized that at times the perseverance level of some of us is somehow limited because you get it in a sense of, yes, I want to go the straight way. But at times you get, I'm somebody who is maneuvered by the pressure around me, who I'll never see, on a toast of a coin there's a head and a tail. And on a toast of a life and a struggle, there's a positive side and a negative side. When I meet obstacle on the way, I'll always concentrate on the negative aspect. But I don't see this giving me an opportunity to grow for another time. So you get few in a percentage, 1 in 20, only one will see that there is a positive side in this.
And is that why you're coming in as a counselor? Because
So-
that is the main goal for you, to show the
Ideally-
19 of them to see like the one.
So we are coming in as counselors. And we are now trying to tell them that, okay, when life gives you lemon, you must make a lemonade juice out of it.
Thank you.
And not just say, it's bitter, it's bitter.
That makes a lot of sense. Coming to you, what I've just asked him, you've mentioned something, she has mentioned something very incredible, that the pressures in the society, and your friend, let me just echo out what you just said, asking, what if I don't make it? We all are not sure even about tomorrow. It is not something that is guaranteed. Because if I was to ask the same question maybe to the same person, what if you make it? Why concentrate so much with you not making it? What if you make it? And what if you make to achieve what you want and don't get to enjoy it?
Yes.
Why stress so much to start with?
So the reason why you see the young people are stressed so much about the life is I can buy his idea. The first one, he said that what if I don't be there tomorrow to enjoy the fruits that I've fought for? Another thing is about in this life, you know, there's what we call peer pressure. You're my friend. And then we were in the same campus, we studied together, but unfortunately you made it in life. And I saw you the following day driving your Mercedes Benz. Then I'm there, I don't have even a bicycle.
Let me interrupt you in that.
Yeah.
Let me interrupt you in that. Depending with where you're brought up from,
Yes.
right? Your social backgrounds, the efforts and everything that you put yourself into. Tunasemanga ni kujituma by the end of the day. True or false?
Yes.
Now, kama ni kujituma, and then you're like, what if I make it? What if I don't make it? Then if I made it and you did not make it, or the other way around, what were you doing, or what was this other person doing different from what you were doing in campus?
That's where also we see this thing called luck coming from. Some people have luck. You can just finish, and from nowhere you just get even a scholarship, or you get somebody to sponsor you, or to get a job immediately. But mimi, on my way, najituma.
Kujituma ni kutafuta scholarship. Yeah. They are all over.
No, but what if you don't get?
You apply.
The
same way you're applying for jobs and you're not even guaranteed.
You know,
you apply here, you're going to get one.
You apply for scholarship and it is always online. You don't know the fate of those people, how they are going to do those things. Maybe you might not be considered.
What is your difference between you who is not trying and the person who is trying and end up being considered?
What if you're trying all?
Yeah, you're trying.
Yes, you tried.
That is the essence.
You tried, and then the other person also tried. You tried the same time, and you don't get considered, but he get the chance.
But the fates are different.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
The same way we say our fingers are not
That's why
equal.
I'm saying luck is coming there in.
How
some
is
people's luck are
related
good.
to this?
Yeah, some people's luck.
I get. I thought you were saying luck as if missing something.
No.
Your stars are not aligning.
Yeah.
That is between your creator and the stars. It has nothing to do with the jobs and the scholarships.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying some people are lucky. You find he's getting into life so easy and smoothly.
You start
but
praying,
you
start praying in the same direction of the lucky person for your stars to align. If it is all about your stars, then I mean, you just have to pray for your stars to align.
If you pray, but
and if they're not aligning today,
if it is not your side,
hopeful tomorrow they will align, you know.
If it is not in your side,
because
you
by
can.
the end of the day, we are not going to all be equals.
Yeah.
But at least you're somewhere.
So that's
at
why.
the end of the day.
So that's why I was saying that pressure, that people you see somebody, and then that thing cannot just. You can't be okay mentally.
You can't.
You can't be.
Why not?
No.
You're not him, you're not her, you are you.
Even if you go back to the society, you came with the same person in the same society, but people will just questioning.
I think
how?
It's the high time you guys as leaders, you start advocating for people not to be like comparing themselves to others. Because if you compare ourselves to others, then we're not heading anywhere. I want us to take a break. I hope you're learning as much as I am. Interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be back shortly. Come on, utazako hazingai, please.
So through the 4 gospel books, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, John, we can know the heart of Jesus in depth.
그리고 우리가 느끼는 그 예수님을 성경을 통해 느낄 수 있어서 너무 감사합니다.
And the Jesus that we can feel him through the scriptures, and I'm very thankful about that. Jesus Christ came to this earth for our
죄를
sins.
지셨고
He carried our sins,
십자가에 못 박혀 죽어 죄의 형벌을 당하셨고
and he was crucified, and he received the punishment for sins,
무덤에 들어가셨다가
and he was put into the tomb
사흘 만에 부활하셨습니다.
and resurrected in 3 days.
이것이 우리가 말하는 복음입니다.
This is the gospel that we speak.
예수님께 우리 죄를 위해 죽으신 이야기.
About how Jesus died for our sins. The purpose of Jesus being
우리
crucified.
죄를 담당하기 위하여 십자가에 못 박혀 죽으셨습니다.
He was crucified to pay for our
그래서
sins.
예수 십자가에 못 박혀 죽으심으로 우리 죄가 분명히 씻어졌는데
And through Jesus being crucified, clearly our sins have been washed clean.
참 안타깝게도 많은 사람은 여전히 죄인이라고 말합니다.
However, unfortunately, many people still say that they are sinners.
Now, for our viewers, they've had this over the past few weeks. Actually, can you try to break down this? What is this called endometriosis?
Back and they say, if you're having painful periods, please take it like a woman, which I think is a very wrong thing.
Is there a particular age group among women that experience this so much? Or it's just for at any time of age life?
In our area of the world, we tend to find more severe forms because of poor health-seeking behavior. So if you have a problem, please don't spend forever before you come starting to look for help.
Viewer who is asking, what is the relationship between endometriosis and ovarian cancer? Many people confuse to be just a painful menses rather than endo. So how can you differentiate the two?
The story that this lady comes with. So what's the background story? How long has this pain been there? Has it been getting worse? Is it pain in just one space, or is it pain in very many other places as well? How has it developed over time? And
how are the patients when you meet them?
Thank you for that very important question. In fact, I think that's actually one of the key things we need to discuss in today's interview.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu cha Jamii. Today we are talking about the Gen Z social issues and their impact in the society. Are you a Gen Z? Are you a youth? What are your impact in the society? What are you bringing on the table? Are you just complaining, sitting at home complaining, oh, CG finance bill, oh, CG your stars are not aligning, things are not working up, unemployment and everything? Or are you different and making the small wins and appreciating them and also striving to be a better individual? Interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So before we went on a break, we were talking about the person being lucky, the connections and everything. But I still have this thing in mind as we continue. When you're talking, or when you are having these motivation talks, you're having the speakers who come into school, who come to your workplace, just to give you an insight of where you are, where you're going, what you need to do for you to accomplish a certain goal, depending with what you're looking at. Because if you're a tech person, you look into the tech people who are going to help you to understand better about the new technologies that are coming out. If you're into medicines, you'll be looking into doctors, depending with your field. But having said all this, we always have this punchline of even if you go talk to, just to mention a few of our leaders, Bill Gates, Ruto, Raila, if we talk to them, or when you're given the chance to even listen to their interviews and they tell you the struggles, the stress that they go through, we're all going through the stress. But the difference is they're looking at how to improve things. And you here, you're looking on how to continue complaining and seeing things not work. Why is that as the young people? Steve.
Thank you very much for that. We are not complaining. We are just trying to let you know that we are there. We don't want you to forget about us. Because if you say you've struggled, my path and your path might not align.
Sure.
How Steve makes it and how Obiero makes it, two different ways. So whatsoever we've been doing and I've been doing, I will always say that I believe in individuality. I can never work with the aspect of we. But when I start with I, if for instance a fire starts here, I'll first run for my life, not I'll help you run. Mm-hmm. So that takes you to the generation we are in. This is a generation where they have now started to come out themselves. It's not like we are suffering, it's I am suffering. Because we are doing it based on rationality. Because we have seen the aspect of collectiveness killing us at a point. And so by valuing individuality, we make it off there. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Makes sense. What about you?
Me, what I can just say is that we as the youth, we are not disparate of anything. Actually, we don't fear anything. All we fear is just the life frustration. Mm-hmm. We don't want to be frustrated with life. Mm-hmm. The country itself is democratic, though practically there's no democracy. Because even we are being told that all the laws are being amended at the National Assembly. But if you see it, it is not the way we think it is. It is just there theoretically. We were told, once I was engaging MP Otiende Amolo for Ariada, we asked him that, why is it that this house is meant for making and amending of laws, but we are seeing like the government, what the government wants, it's what is taking place. But he told us, that one we just know it's happening theoretically. Outside there, that is how it is. But practically, if you come here, what the government wants is what will take place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Having said all this, and we are talking about now the reason why a lot of young people are even demonstrating. I understand tomorrow there is a
mega. A mega.
We shall occupy.
It's a mega.
I was really trying to avoid this conversation going into that direction, but I'm realizing that it's unavoidable.
It can't be avoided.
So what are you occupying in the first place? You've said mega, you said occupy. What are you occupying in the first place?
We are occupying all the streets, not specifically in Nairobi, everywhere.
I saw a meme saying some places the youth are nowhere to be found because they are busy outside the country working.
There's no place where we don't have youth.
They are very
there.
few.
It's just they are few, they don't want to come out. And then they believe that only in Nairobi is where demonstration should take place. especially those who are there back at home.
But now that you mentioned something very interesting, they are there,
Yeah.
they are few, but they don't want to come out. So by the end of the day, what he has said, it's all about individualizing the individual. If I don't see any problem with what is happening, then why should I
It's
even
not that you
come
don't
out?
see the problem, it's that you lack the knowledge about the problem you are going through.
No, it's not affecting me. Why should I even go out in the first
It
place?
will affect you. It's,
So-
that you don't,
So the aspect
still don't
of
understand.
them not going, that's, let's just say one thing. It's that we are trying to build a generation that we respect but we don't fear.
Yeah.
Where I come from, if I say fear, it stands for fear, kukuwa mwoga, na kuheshimu mtu. That's where we are running from. We don't want to say we fear you. We respect you. But them, they have the fear. So ideally, if I have fear, and I take the norm of, if I go there, this will happen to me, meaning you're afraid. But people who will be there, and Gen Zs, who will be, tomorrow we shall be occupying the streets. As at now, they should just be giving their MPs their calls, as at now. But tomorrow, it is a peaceful one.
We are never peaceful.
We are always peaceful.
Yeah.
We don't have a team leader.
Yes. We don't have even a team
We
leader.
don't have a
Every
team
youth is
leader.
a
It is
leader.
not a structured thing.
Yeah.
It's like us coming out for ourselves. A friend of mine that I met was Tony Emalu from Nigeria. He told us one thing: nobody will come to develop Africa unless, except us. And nobody is coming to liberate Kenya except us, who are the youth. Taking the population, the Gen Zs, both the Alpha and the Gen Z, we are the majority. And we are the people who will live with this long-term impact. And that's why you see we'll be occupying tomorrow. And we'll be rejecting it. We never said amend. We say we are rejecting it. Don't want the aspect of amendment or some clause, but we want it to be rejected.
They are
totality.
trying to call us for a dialogue. We don't have a leaders. Us, we don't want a dialogue. If they want to talk to us, let them talk to us through that finance bill. That's where we can talk.
As leaders from your schools, from individuals that you are today, and what you're aspiring to be in the future as you're growing into that direction, what difference would you want to see tomorrow and also in the near future, as leaders as you are, as you're growing into those space? If you're to be Ruto today, or if you're given a chance to be the president today, what different would you do as a person? Starting with you, Steve, what different would you do?
So ideally, the best way to get an individual or what the individual faces is by engaging the person. So I'll embrace dialogue before anything is done. That is one thing. Because the other thing, as an aspect of an economist, I would love seeing a revolutionized free market. Because everything that most of the people shall complain, they'll just be on the economical impacts. And so with the two, it's us bringing the aspect of industrialization. And I still insist, Kenya can make a good, whenever we embrace industrialization, we can make a good country, but not through taxation. We have other ways of getting the revenues, but not imposing higher taxes on us.
What I still want to hear, what would Steve do different if you're to be the president today and you're told now this is your seat, this is your position? What different should we expect from you?
So what first you should expect from me is, one, through industrialization, I'm raising citizenship, that where they know that the politicians are not the solution givers, but they are realizing that the solution lies within them. So that will make you that the different thing I'll do is get to the people, get what they want. However, I won't implement all of them, but there are some things that they have great ideas. Yeah.
So yours is all about industrialization, and that is the where you'd maybe pour much of your energy on.
Yeah, because ideally speaking, you see where we are as now. If we will have really worked on our industrialization, then the tax system will not be. Let's not compare ourselves of sacrifice. There's something somebody will tell you, sacrifice for now, for us to enjoy in 2050. Who tells you I'll live up to 2050?
Is that not what you're doing? Yeah. You're sacrificing yourself now for your kids to live a better life, which you're also not sure if you're even going to have kids or you're even going to see them have a better life.
One thing that I'm very sure, because, okay, I'm very sure of what I'll live and what my sisters, because of the impact and the effort I'm making in life. So that one I'm always sure. But generation, I would love if I would be that in the position of Ruto. And I still insist, is that taxation, no.
What about you, Mr. Chan?
Me, what I can say, I can just start from the story of Singapore development. You know, Singapore developed from a third world to a first world country. But if you can compare Singapore and Kenya, Kenya going to independent prior than Singapore. But what had made Singapore to become a first world country, they have deployed only 3 acronyms that have been abbreviated in English. The MPH. The MPH is abbreviation of English where M stands for meritocracy. Meritocracy is just selecting the best leaders to rule the country. The best leaders. Not in terms of tribalism or racism or what. The third pillar is the P, the pragmatism. Pragmatism was best described by a Chinese leader called Deng Xiaoping. He said that it doesn't matter whether the cat is white or black. If the cat catches mice, then it is a good cat. The same way with your ideologies. It doesn't matter what your ideologies tell, but if it's work, you use them. And the third pillar is the H. H is the honesty, which is the biggest pillar. And it really affects African leaders, not specifically in Kenya. If you go to Uganda, if you go to anywhere, in Nigeria, South Africa, you go to Cyril Ramaphosa there. Honesty. We don't want to fight corruption. Corruption starts from even me here. Even an individual cannot be trusted with his or her own money. Cannot. For example, if you worked for me and then I was to give you 100,000, then it's like I will be just questioning, what will you do with this 100,000? I don't trust you with your own money. It is yours, but you don't be trusted with because of corruption. It starts from individual. I don't think if that thing will end even in 2050 to come. I don't think.
But if by the end the underlying impact is individual, then people should work on themselves.
Yeah, they should work on themselves. But you see, a country like Kenya, we are declining from the third world to the nth position, which I don't know where will it go. I cannot say that Kenya is now even a third world country. It is not even a third world. It is in the nth position, which is just lagging behind.
We are still role models to people. Please keep that in mind.
Yeah. But we don't want to embrace that thing of. I just think if we can just go back to that thing of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, that of Jamii system. I think we assist each other and do things communally. We don't just, I think it can be good.
With the heart of Ubuntu, by the end of the day, it's all about coming together. But you have said you guys are coming out as individuals.
Yeah.
And that oneness is not bringing
We are
any
coming
feedback.
out individual to bring the power of the all as combined. For us going to demonstrate tomorrow, I'll live there individually. But when I reach there, I'll find my people. And we'll be there, a collective of people. We'll be many. So by us fighting there, you'll see, I left there individually, but now there, I'm not an individual person. Yeah, you cannot come and approach me Tony, you are the one who is here. I'm not there alone. There are people.
What if the leaders decide to approach you alone?
Then you'll just see people behind me booing there. Why? The same way we did it on Thursday. Yeah, and they will not.
Why don't you utilize that energy, that time, to invest in yourself and grow yourself?
If I don't fight for today, then even that investment will not be there tomorrow.
It's not a guarantee either way, whether you fight or not.
It is a guarantee. They must
Let it be we tried to fight. And not that
we have watched
the country going to a mess.
Yeah.
I tried. It will be judged that Steve
they
tried. And that time it was under the Gen Z.
Yeah.
It should not be, I watch. It's like, we can talk about luck, but when it must meet preparation. So let it be, I tried. I never watched the country going to a place.
I love the fact how you guys are coming out boldly and saying about how you guys are going out and how you guys are coming together to try and not see the country going to whatever wrong way it's going. This I'm echoing out your words. But again, this one, I also stand to be corrected. When you go back to what we were talking about before, how you're supposed to utilize the same energy in yourself and say, I tried. I'm not striving today, but I'm trying. Instead of comparing yourself, right? It's the same energy you're going to put in trying to bring that change, which is not guaranteed. Why not put that much effort in things that at least there is hope for? Because it's all about also you and what you want to achieve by the end of the day.
That's too funny. Because I tell what we are doing, it doesn't mean that we are not using the energy to empower ourselves elsewhere. I think that's where we never got ourselves. You see, those people who are tomorrow going there, in one way or the other, they are affected. Mm-hmm. It's not, for instance, the essence of, you said we are a tech generation. Mm-hmm. There have been taxes imposed on the digital space. Mm-hmm. That person affects me. Mm-hmm. So the energy I was using, I was working digitally. Mm-hmm. This person now wants to take my own money. Mm-hmm. But probably I was using it elsewhere. Mm-hmm. So that's why you see we are coming out. It's not like we are not coming out. The energy we also invest. But I'll not come and announce to you, I'm using it online. Yes? Mm-hmm. Having the placards that I'm using it online, it's not. But ideally, these people you see, they are not going just there to be seen. In one way or the other, they are affected.
And to make it clear, if you hear what the majority leader, National Assembly said, mm-hmm. Kimani Chungu, mm-hmm. that those who are going to demonstrate in the name of Gen Zs mm-hmm. are carrying iPhones mm-hmm. and going there with the Uber mm-hmm. to the demonstration mm-hmm. places, mm-hmm. and then after leaving in the evening, mm-hmm. they go to KFC, mm-hmm. they eat kuku mm-hmm. and shoma mm-hmm. with those money. If you are not giving any effort, making effort to get that iPhone, to get that Uber to take us there, is not financing us. Mm-hmm. To mean we are struggling. We have even the money to
me, you're not struggling.
We are struggling.
Why
Okay,
are
to
you
get that
struggling?
What's
money,
taking place?
to border
I'm
Uber.
being told we are running out of time. I want us to continue this conversation online. But meanwhile, as you're going online to continue this conversation, I'd want you to give your parting shot on TV first.
Okay, for me, it's like youths and Gen Z, let these people not trade on us. And that's how it is strategically here. Don't trade on anyone. Let the government not trade on us. It's high time we stand out and we give the very best. Let it be we tried. Let it not be that it was done. To our fellow millennials and everyone, join us in this, because the long-term impact will not only affect the Gen Zs, but shall affect all of us. I still repeat, nobody will fight for Kenya unless us. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, me, what I want to say as Gen Z, I'm Tony, and specifically Tony, the KUSO organizing secretary. I'm saying this, we are not disparate of anything. I hear them calling that we want to overthrow the government. We are not even interested in becoming the government leaders. We are not interested in their position. We are interested in our thing. We don't fear anything. We fear the finance bill only. And tomorrow is the same way. I think tomorrow might be a holiday for everybody, especially in Nairobi, because we are going to occupy all the roads that leading to Nairobi City County. No business tomorrow. And I stand bold to say that there is no business that is going to take place in Nairobi tomorrow. Let's come out as Gen Zs and occupy all those roads, starting with the Thika.
I have a question as you are winding up in regards to what you've given as a parting shot. When you say there is no work tomorrow and all roads should lead to the city center, then what are you going to eat when you come back home?
Tumejipanga.
Are you talking about yourself or on behalf of others?
Tumejipanga. Hakuna mtu mwenye anaweza toka kwao kama hakuna kitu yenye atakula.
I think hiyo inakuja to individualism. Let's continue this conversation online across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. Till next time, have a nice time. Goodbye.
Everywhere, GBS.